It was my fault treating you as an opponent. People like you do not qualify to be my rival. Besides, I have surpassed you now. Zhang Chuchu, do you regret it now? Zhang Chuchu stared at Imo Feifei for half a second. She suddenly laughed. You're right. I simply followed the manor lady for the sake of being superior. But so what? At least, in the manor lattice, I will never regret my choice. Imo Feifei would eventually not know how much benefits they had gained from Feng Ruching because she did not choose the same path they had taken. That was something no one else could ever imagine. She would follow Feng Ruching in this life. She would never regret it and never give up. Let's go. Zhang Chuchu did not pay attention to Imo Feifei's darkened face and walked right past her. She no longer made any excuses for herself. Chapter 725, Feng Qing Court. Sponsored content. The girl was lazily leaning against the arbor. Next to the girl, a maid was crouching and hammered her thigh. She stared at Lei Yun, who was waiting in front of her, with her hands on her head. Lei Yun felt a little hesitant and asked, Manor lady, you have asked for me. Is there anything you want me to do? The manor lady might want to throw him the mess and run away with the two girls again. Lei Yun. Feng Ruching stood upright. The smile on her face gradually disappeared, making Lei Yun more and more anxious. Do you know Tianshan Manor? Tianshan Manor. Sponsored content. These three words made Lei Yun tremble. He looked up at the girl's beautiful face, surprised. My lady, you ask about Tianshan Manor. Well, I want to know how to enter Tianshan Manor, Feng Ruching said, calmly and seriously. Lei Yun's feet were suddenly weak. He almost kneeled on the ground. The lady wanted to go to Tianshan Manor? He had the feeling that the lady was not going there to do good things. My lady. Although Tianshan Manor and Fengyan Manor are both named as manors, Tianshan Manor has become a small world itself, not to mention that is not in this dimension. Sponsored content not in this dimension. Feng Ruching looked on earnestly. What does that mean? No one knows exactly where Tianshan Manor is, except those who are in it. Even if you have found the location, it is not easy to go in. You are going to Tianshan Manor for? Lei Yun glanced at Feng Ruching and asked, anxiously. Oh. Feng Ruching slightly smiled. To find someone. Find someone? Well, I'm going there to find someone. Lei Yun. Immediately send someone to find the location of Tianshan Manor. Lei Yun hesitated for a moment. He looked at Feng Ruching. My lady, young Master Nancian. Isn't he from Tianshan Manor? You can ask him. That is unnecessary. Feng Ruching caressed her chin. I don't want Nancian to step into Tianshan Manor again. If Nancian knew that she wanted to go to Tianshan Manor, he would not let her go alone. Sponsored content, but she wanted to protect him. You just need to find the approximate location. There should be people coming out of Tianshan Manor. If you can't find it, just grab a person and torture him until you get the exact location. Extracting confession by torture was a good way, but no one had used this method in years. No one dared to do anything to Tianshan Manor. Even if it was only a small pawn, no one had the courage to do it. Lei Yun's mouth twitched twice. The lady said she was going to find someone in Tianshan Manor. However, why did he felt that she was going there to get even with someone? My lady this, oh, by the way. Feng Ruching did not give Lei Yun a chance to speak. Go find someone who looks silly and force it out of him. Keep this. A token was thrown in front of Lei Yun. This is, Lei Yun was shocked when he saw the three words, the Divine Herb Sect on the token. He raised his head stiffly and was stunned. Make sure to find someone who looks foolish and then pretend to accidentally drop the token in front of him, Feng Ruching said with a smile. Lei Yun said with a trembling voice, My lady, where did you get the token from? I got it from Gu Zhanyang. It will be useful for that purpose. Feng Ruching supported her chin with her hand. She smiled. The Divine Herb Sect had hurt my mother for so many years. This is just a little something in return. Chapter 726, not to mention that those things were done by Gu Zhanyang alone. Sponsored content at that time, Gu Zhanyang had forcibly taken away her mother and used her family's life to threaten her. However, the Divine Herb Sect had only imprisoned him for 3 years. If the Divine Herb Sect had punished him harder, they could restrain his behavior, how would so many innocent soldiers have been killed? All this was because of the Divine Herbs sect's favoritism. They did not fear Nancian. Even if Gu Zhenyang was punished in the end, those people of the Divine Herbs sect would still exact crazy acts of revenge after learning that her mother was the lady of Fengyun clan. She did not believe it either. The Divine Herbs sect really did not hate her at all. Sponsored content, my lady. Lei Yun narrowed his eyes. I'll do it myself. Everyone in Fengyun Manor hated the Divine Herbs sect. The father and daughter of Tang Luo should be guilty of death. Nonetheless, Gu Zhenyang from the Divine Herbs sect was the trigger of everything. Without him, the lady of Fengyun clan would have lived happily with her family. Her family would not have to lose her for so many years. Blaming it on the Divine Herbs sect, he had no burden at all. In addition, Feng Ruqing was stunned. He looked serious. Tell me the situation of Tianshan Manor. For instance, the talented disciples. She was never alone. Sponsored content be the Iron-Blooded Troop or Fengyun Manor, they definitely would accompany her on that path. So, she must gather these talented disciples and provide them with the largest cultivation environment. Lei Yun raised his fist. If you meant the genius among the disciples, Zhang Chuchu is the most talented among them. She is also the youngest in lower spirit warrior tier. A genius was not determined by what level her strength was, but how long it took her to reach lower spirit warrior tier. Even though they had all reached lower spirit warrior tier, Zhang Chuchu was the youngest. That was why she was a genius among them. Read more chapter on VIP novel. Furthermore, there is another one who can be compared with Zhang Chuchu. She is Imo Feifei. However, Zhang Chuchu is calmer, unlike Imo Feifei who is more arrogant. But still, she does have the talent. Feng Ruqing nodded. For cultivators, being arrogant is not a bad thing. Every genius has her pride, but arrogance is not proud and ungovernable. I will observe her later. Sponsored content, she was willing to accept an arrogant genius, but unwilling to help a person who was proud and self-willed by virtue of her talent. Therefore, she would still need to further observe some people. Yes, my lady. Lei Yun sighed. He had held high hopes for Imo Feifei other than Zhang Chuchu. Those who had reached Spirit Warrior tier just at the age of 20. They were regarded as very talented people. But the Manor Lady had her own reasons. Sponsored content if Imo Feifei was only a disciple in Fengyun Manor. Even if she acted haughtily, Feng Ruqing would just let it go as long as she did not harm Fengyun Manor. Nevertheless, the Manor Lady obviously wanted to find a group of guards who belonged to her. So, she also had high requirements for the people's character. It's getting late. Go and look for Tianshan Manor's location as soon as possible. I can't wait too long. Yes, then I shall take my leave now. After Lei Yun bowed to Feng Ruqing, he turned and left. Soon after he had left, Feng Ruqing stood up and smiled, indifferently. Luli, come, walk around with me. This is where my mother had lived for a long time. I haven't seen it yet. Chapter 727. Yes, Princess. Luli stood up slowly. She fixed her gaze at the young girl in front of her. There was a smile on her pretty face. Sponsored content, she is no longer the princess she was a year ago. Not only does she know how to differentiate between right and wrong, but she has also gotten stronger in a year. We feel more secure now. Since Qingling came to Fengyun clan, she was curious about everything. She could now stroll in the manor alone, after she had gotten permission from Feng Ruqing. She rested under a tree. All of a sudden, a ripe fruit fell on her head. Sponsored content, she was rather thirsty. Thus, she used her sleeves to wipe at the fruit before taking a bite. It was delicious and sweet, but it's not as delicious as the divine spirit fruit in the Princess Manor. What are you doing? An angry voice was heard at that moment. Qingling recovered her senses. Soon, a strong and fast wind blew at her. She lost the fruit in her hand. A woman in front of her had grabbed the fruit from her hand. Sponsored content Imo Feifei realized that Qingling had taken a bite of the fruit. Her facial expression darkened. She looked at Qingling angrily. She scolded her with frustration. How dare you? Who has allowed you to touch the things in Fengyun Manor? You're just a servant who has made a breakthrough to true warrior tier, who has allowed you to touch the things that belong to the disciples of our clan. Qing Ling was stunned. She looked at the fruit in Imo Feifei's hand. She was guilty. This? Can I have that? I don't know. This is a spirit herb. Don't you know that? Imo Feifei was angry. This is such a good thing. It's been ruined by a servant. Although she is a young true warrior, she is still a disciple who is an outsider in Fengyun Manor. She's still a servant and nothing can change that. Moreover, this spirit herb tree belongs to the disciples of our clan. No outsider can have that. What's more, she's a servant too. Sponsored content. I know that it's a spirit herb, but I didn't know that it cannot be eaten. I eat that every day in the Princess Manor. So, I thought that, if it's any other spirit herb, I would never have touched it. But, it's being treated as any other fruits in the Princess Manor. We could have that every day. I'm used to it, and I've forgotten that I'm now in Fengyun Manor. You're just a servant. How can you have the divine spirit fruit every day? Imo Feifei sneered at her. She seemed arrogant and condescending. The divine spirit fruit is just a grade 1 spirit herb. Read more chapter on VIP novel. But it's quite attractive to both humans and spirit beasts. Some spirit beasts can neither climb trees nor fly. So, they use their brutal force to knock against the trees just to get the divine spirit fruits. As its tree trunk is weak and could not withstand their brutal force, the tree trunks broke and the number of trees became scarce. Now, there are less than 20 divine spirit fruit trees in the entire mainland. Sponsored content Manor Master was lucky. She saw 2 divine spirit fruit trees the other day. She took them back and they are now growing healthily. Even so, there are too many people in Fengyun clan. The divine spirit fruits need much time to ripen. Therefore, there is a rule saying that only the disciples of our clan can have the divine spirit fruits. The divine spirit fruit is different from the other spirit herbs. It's significant for everyone from different tiers. It's because the fruit is used to boost one's energy when they are tired so that they can continue their cultivation. It's not used to improve one's strength. Even the elders and guardians do not have the divine spirit fruit. They give the chance to the talented disciples in our clan. So, how could such a good fruit be wasted on a servant? Chapter 728. Qing Ling was rather annoyed after being scolded by Imo Feifei. But she did not want to trouble the princess, so she chose not to argue with Imo Feifei. Sponsored content Qing Ling did not bother about Imo Feifei. She turned and was about to leave. Imo Feifei was a talented disciple in Fengyun clan. No one had ignored her before. She realized that Qing Ling wanted to leave when Qing Ling had wasted a divine spirit fruit. She was infuriated. Soon, she came to stand in front of Qing Ling, blocking her path. Servant, how dare you to leave when you've eaten a divine spirit fruit of Fengyun clan? Qing Ling's facial expression worsened. In the end, she could not control her anger any longer and exploded with frustration. It's just a fruit. I told you I have that every day. But I've finished my portion today. I can return one to you tomorrow. I would never have touched that if I had known that it's a divine spirit fruit. Who knew that you would be so stingy about a divine spirit fruit? Even the snow wolf is not as stingy as you. Sponsored content you. Imo Feifei's facial expression worsened. She clenched her fists tightly. If you were not the manor lattice servant, I would definitely beat you up by now. You know very well that it's a divine spirit fruit, and you wasted that on purpose. You were doing it on purpose. Who said I'm wasting that? Qing Ling stretched out her hand toward Imo Feifei. Give me the fruit that I have only bit once just now. I'll eat that now, and I'll be sure not to waste even one bite. Imo Feifei was shocked. She had never met anyone as impudent as Qing Ling. Then, she smiled sardonically. You're truly a person from the secular world. Even now, you still want to eat the divine spirit fruit? I'll never give it to you even if I have to feed it to the dog. Fine, go and feed it to your dog. Sponsored content Qing Ling shrugged. Every spirit beast in the Princess Manor gets to have the divine spirit fruit, too. It's not so different from feeding a dog. I do not care about that. Senior Imo, what happened? The argument startled the other disciples in the manor. The disciples came and gathered at the scene. They seemed shocked to see Mo Feifei arguing with the manor lattice servant. Mo Feifei sneered. This servant has stolen and eaten the divine spirit fruit while we were unaware. Sponsored content. Divine spirit fruits were not rare in the Princess Manor, but they were very precious to others. They were used to alleviate one's fatigue. One's cultivation would become more effective with their aid. Qing Ling's face reddened. She was outraged. I did not steal and eat it. I ate it publicly. How can a servant like you eat such a good spirit herb? The divine spirit fruit is such a good thing. I'm the one who's right here, even if the manor lady comes later. Mo Feifei looked at Qing Ling angrily. Qing Ling trembled when she thought of that. She was used to how things were in the Princess Manor. She did not realize that divine spirit fruits were considered extremely precious outside of the Princess Manor. Is it because they're just very poor? Sponsored content. The other disciples seemed quite angry too. There were a lot of disciples in Fengyun clan, but there were only 2 divine spirit fruit trees. So, not every disciple could get a chance to eat the divine spirit fruit. The divine spirit fruit would lose its significance if it was being shared by a lot of people. So, they chose to give it to a certain group of disciples only. Therefore, they were angry when they saw how Qing Ling had reacted. However, Qing Ling was the manor lattice servant. They did not dare to do anything to her. Senior Mo, one of the women pulled at Mo Feifei's sleeves. Why don't we forget about it? She has only just wasted 1 piece of fruit. She won't do that again in the future. She's with the manor lady. Let's forget about it. Chapter 729. So what if she's with the manor lady? Mo Feifei seemed quite arrogant. I can say that not one disciple in Fengyun clan is as talented as I am. Zheng Chuchu was there to compete with me before. But now that Zheng Chuhu is gone, I believe that the manor lady will be more than willing to stand by my side. Sponsored content. In fact, one of them was a talented disciple in Fengyun clan, while the other one was only a servant. Everyone knew very well which side to choose. The servant was a true warrior, and she would surely be identified as a genius if she was placed in the secular world. But she was now at Fengyun Manor. Mo Feifei had made a breakthrough to advance true warrior when she was at Qing Ling's age. Everyone knew that one could easily make a breakthrough before true warrior tier. But one needed a few years to make a breakthrough when they had reached true warrior tier. But Mo Feifei only used 2 years to make a breakthrough to spirit warrior tier. Sponsored content. Many would invite Mo Feifei to become their disciples, even if she left Fengyun clan given that she had such huge talent. Manor lady will surely know what is best for Fengyun Manor. You can say whatever you want. I'll return a divine spirit fruit to you tomorrow. Qing Ling did not want to create trouble in Fengyun Manor for the prince's sake. She had no choice but to endure the accusations. Return one to me tomorrow? It's hilarious. Do you plan to steal a divine spirit fruit in the middle of the night? If not, how will you be able to return one to me tomorrow? I just don't understand why the manor lady keeps a person like you as her servant. If it was me, I would have traded you with someone else to prevent you from creating trouble for the manor lady. Mo Feifei gestured and sand was swept up from the ground. She gathered the stones on the ground, and they were swept up into the sky. Qing Ling's path was blocked. Sponsored content. Senior Mo. The others saw how Mo Feifei reacted. She was quite out of line. They had no choice but to try their best to stop her. Just forget about it. Don't talk anymore. She's with the manor lady. We need to respect the manor lady too. Mo Feifei was the most arrogant and pompous disciple among all the other disciples. She had never treated the weak ones nicely simply because she was more talented. But she was still a talented person. She was arrogant because of her talent. They did not dare to say much or argue with her. But now, that servant was the manor lattice servant. They did not care about which side the manor lady would take in the end. Mo Feifei's action would be regarded as disrespectful toward the manor lady. How would the manor lady be treated in Fengyun Manor in the future? Sponsored content. Moreover, that lady continued speaking softly. She knows that she's wrong. Why don't we just forgive her? I will give away my divine spirit fruit this time. Let someone else have my divine spirit fruit. Shut up, Mo Feifei shouted angrily. I don't allow anyone to tarnish anything that belongs to our Fengyun clan. That woman was about to say something more. But, eventually, she did not say anything after realizing how angry Mo Feifei seemed. Then, what do you want? Qing Ling turned and looked at Mo Feifei angrily. Mo Feifei smiled, sardonically. I want you to spit out the bite of fruit that you have eaten just now. You. Qing Ling's face was red with anger. You're out of the line. If you don't want to do that, I'm more than willing to help you. Sponsored content. Mo Feifei advanced toward Qing Ling slowly. Senior Mo. The other disciples were anxious now. But Mo Feifei became angrier when the other disciples tried to stop her. I'll never allow these people to disobey me just because of a servant. It's disrespectful to me. How can I endure that? Alas, the more they tried to stop her, the more she didn't want to let that lowly servant off. Chapter 730 Stop. Sponsored content. Mo Feifei came to stand in front of Qing Ling. All of a sudden, an angry voice was heard. A soft breeze blew by, and Zheng Chuchu came to stand between Mo Feifei and Qing Ling. Mo Feifei, I never thought that you were so daring to bully the manor lattice servant. Mo Feifei's facial expression darkened. I never thought that you'll side with the servant. Is it because you've been staying outside for half a year, and you think that you're just the same as the servant? Where has your pride gone as a genius? She's with the manor lady. So what? Mo Feifei did not seem to care about that in the least. Sponsored content. Remove ads? I'm a genius. I have my pride, and I'll never bow down to a servant. The manor lady is a person who places great emphasis on family ties and friendship. If you dare to do anything to Qing Ling, the manor lady will never forgive you. I'm warning you now, Zhang Chuchu said, expressionlessly. Mo Feifei sneered. I believe that the manor lady is not that kind of person. She's a leader in our Fengyun clan. She must put Fengyun clan before everything else. If she's like the other forces and acts selfishly, she won't be able to stay here for long. But the manor lady is an intelligent and strong person. She'll never give me up for just a servant's sake. Moreover, she's just a servant, and she's not the manor lattice friend or relative. If I did anything to a servant, surely the manor lady will not say anything. Zhang Chuchu smiled coldly. What if I don't allow you to do that? Mo Feifei grew cold and seemed indifferent. Zhang Chuchu, are you sure you want to become my enemy just because of a servant? Yes. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Zhang Chuchu, we drew a tie when we fought with each other before. Do you still think that you'll be able to fight with me now? Mo Feifei narrowed her eyes and advanced toward Zhang Chuchu slowly. She was an intermediate spirit warrior. She was immersed in her own spiritual force. She released her power, and it was so powerful that the entire sky was filled with the strong force. Not far away, Feng Ruching stopped walking. She looked in the direction where the force came from. She seemed cold and serious. Did somebody come and create trouble here in Fengyun Manor? Lu Li was stunned. She followed close behind Feng Ruching. She seemed rather hesitant. Princess, I know the way. Lady Chuchu showed me before. That place seems to be the manor that belongs to the disciples of Fengyun clan. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Lu Li, let's go and find out what's wrong. Feng Ruching had a soft smile on her face, but that smile was rather cold. Nobody is allowed to create trouble here in Fengyun Manor. Zhang Chuchu, do you see that now? I made a breakthrough before you. Mo Feifei sneered at Zhang Chuchu arrogantly. Do you still think that you can protect that servant? Zhang Chuchu clenched her fists tightly. No disciples can fight among themselves in Fengyun clan. Have you forgotten about that? I don't want to disobey the rules in our manor. Don't force me. I'm afraid that I'm unable to hold back anymore. Sponsored content. Remove ads? You're just afraid of me. Why give me such a lame excuse? Moreover, I'm not wrong here. I'm just protecting Fengyun Manor and guarding its interest. Mo Feifei smiled, coldly. Mo Feifei, don't be ridiculous. The servants who followed closely behind Zhang Chuchu were infuriated. If you dare to make an attack, you'll definitely regret it. Mo Feifei smirked. She looked at the people in front of her condescendingly. I, Imo Feifei, have never known what regret tastes like. All of you treat yourselves like humble servants after you've left the manor for quite some time. You don't know that every disciple in Fengyun Manor cultivates diligently. Soon enough, your status here in Fengyun clan will surely be replaced by them. Chapter 731. There were a lot of people in Fengyun clan. If one was not hardworking, they might soon be replaced by someone else. Sponsored content Zheng Chuchu was the one who had wasted half a year. There were many changes in Fengyun clan within half a year. Those changes were rather unexpected to Zheng Chuchu. Zheng Chuchu was tolerant toward Imo Feifei because she did not want to disobey Fengyun clan's rules. But her tolerance was received with cold harshness. Even a humble person has a temper. Sponsored content remove ads? However, Zheng Chuchu soon stopped feeling angry when she saw a young girl walking toward them. She was delighted. Young lady. Imo Feifei seemed to have forgotten about Fengruching. She seemed not to care in the slightest a bit as she smiled coldly. This servant came to our Fengyun manor and stole a spirit herb. She was caught red-handed. Young lady, please teach her a lesson. Fengruching ignored Imo Feifei. She scanned the crowd coldly. Soon, she walked toward Qingling. What happened? At first, Fengruching did not trust Qingling because Qingling was placed at her side under Lu Rong's command. Fengruching did not trust her like how she trusted Lu Li. She always asked Lu Li to keep an eye on Qingling when she was away from the princess manor. Sponsored content remove ads? Later, Fengruching realized that Qingling had nothing to do with Lu Rong. Qingling was only shy and timid. She was naive and innocent, and that was why Lu Rong placed her at Fengruching's side. The other palace maids would voice their opinions in front of Fengruching. But Qingling was the one who had always obeyed every order without any objection. Even though Qingling was timid, she still rushed to protect Luyun Kingdom the other day when they were at war. That was the moment when Fengruching accepted Qingling wholeheartedly. Princess. Qingling appeared to be wronged by others. She seemed pitiful. I did not know that the divine spirit fruit belongs to them. I thought that I could have that. Princess, I really did not mean to do that. Sponsored content remove ads? Fengruching could picture the rest of the story. She frowned slightly. Did you eat the divine spirit fruit? Qingling nodded her head. I did not know that they're that poor. If I had known that I would never have touched their divine spirit fruit. Fine. Fengruching turned her head slowly. Her eyes fell on Imo Feifei. Where did that divine spirit fruit tree come from? Imo Feifei saw that Fengruching was unhappy. She glanced sideways at Qingling smugly. She held up a bright smile when she turned to look at Fengruching. She replied, respectfully, Manor lady, it's brought back by the manor master the other day. Oh, you do know that it's brought back by my mother. I thought that you're the one who planted that tree. Fengruching was expressionless. She seemed cold and distant. Imo Feifei was stunned. She was hesitant for a short while. Then, she spoke again. But, the divine spirit fruit belongs to the disciples of our clan. Now, it's being eaten by that servant. Sponsored content remove ads? Fengruching laughed out loud all of a sudden. Her laughter was frightening. All of the things in Fengyun Manor belong to my mother. My mother is the one who provides them. Naturally, they belong to me too. So, I just want to see who dares to bully my servant again. Even if she wants to eat the divine spirit fruit or tear down the entire divine spirit fruit tree, she is allowed to. Boom. At that moment, the young girl displayed her ferocity and fury. The sky darkened just a bit too. Chapter 732. The powerful force engulfed the entire manor. It was a frightening feeling. Sponsored content dark. Warrior? Manor lady is a dark warrior. Didn't they mention that she's just an intermediate spirit warrior? When did she become a dark warrior? Imo Feifei paled. She was no longer smug and arrogant. There was cold sweat on her forehead. She clenched her fists tightly. Manor lady, I am just doing what's best for Fengyun clan. Those divine spirit fruits belong to the most talented disciples of our clan. She's just a servant, and she's only a true warrior. It seems to be a waste. Sponsored content remove ads? Mo Feifei still held on to her opinion up until that moment. Mo Feifei seemed to be implying that what she did was for Fengyun clan, and the manor lady should not be unfair at a moment like that. But Mo Feifei was unaware that the others were uneasy after listening to what she had said. Zhang Chuchu and the others were shocked. Is it a waste to allow Qing Ling to have the divine spirit fruit? They could have not only the divine spirit fruit, but also the precious spirit wine on a daily basis when they were at the Princess Manor. Feng Ruqing walked toward Mo Feifei slowly. What's your name? Sponsored content remove ads? Mo Feifei gritted her teeth. My name is Mo Feifei. Yes, Elder Lei Yun has just spoken about you to me. What Feng Ruqing said calmed Mo Feifei. She breathed a sigh of relief. Elder Lei Yun has always adored talented people. He must have said something good about me in front of the young lady. Then, I don't have to worry anymore. But the young girl spoke again before Mo Feifei could let down her guard. Sponsored content remove ads? He told me that you're a pompous and arrogant person. You're nothing like Chuchu, who is so gentle. I thought that pride is not a bad thing for someone to have. Everyone in this world has their own pride. But pride does not mean that you can be rude and unreasonable. People like you shouldn't be at our Fengyun Manor. Mo Feifei's face paled. She raised her head and looked at Feng Ruqing, shocked. Read more chapter on VIP novel. What's the meaning of that? Why is the young lady kick me out of the manor just because of a servant? I'm a talented person, and everyone will surely welcome me with open hands wherever I go. If I'm dissatisfied with Fengyun Manor, they'll leave on my own will. They'll never allow them to kick me out just like that. Young lady, do you know what you're doing right now? Mo Feifei's facial expression changed drastically. This servant seems to be around 18 years old. A true warrior who is 18 years old is considered a genius in the secular world. But do you know what kind of warrior I was when I was 18 years old? I was already a lower spirit warrior when I was 18 years old. She's kicking me out of Fengyun Manor just because of an ordinary person. Sponsored content remove ads? She's behaving in such a way that will surely endanger Fengyun clan. Fengyun clan might be ruined at last. How dare you? Zhang Chuchu was infuriated. She scolded Mo Feifei angrily. Mo Feifei, who has allowed you to talk to the manor lady like that? I'm just speaking the truth. The manor lady is kicking me out even though I'm the one who's always doing what's best for our clan. Why should I be quiet about that? Mo Feifei was outrageous. The manor lady had asked the talented people in our clan to be her servants. Thus, they have lost the chance to cultivate and consequently lost their prospect to become stronger. Zhang Chuchu became angrier now. She wanted to stop Mo Feifei from speaking anymore, but Feng Ruqing raised her hand and stopped Zhang Chuchu instead. Let her speak. Mo Feifei smiled coldly. Manor lady, you have just made a breakthrough to Spirit Warrior tier not long ago. But you're a beginner Dark Warrior now. It seems that Elder Lei Yun has allowed you to have all the spirit herbs in the store. I just don't know whether it's a good thing that you're back in our clan. Do you realize that you're ruining the entire Fengyun Manor? It's your mother's effort all along. Don't you think that you shouldn't be taking everything only for yourself? Chapter 733. How could have Feng Ruqing made a quick breakthrough if it was not for the spirit herbs in the storage? Sponsored content. That's impossible. But not all of the spirit herbs in the storage belong to the manor master. Some of the spirit herbs were obtained by the disciples when they were out of the manor for cultivation. Those spirit herbs would be depleted soon. Does Elder Lei Yun ever think about the future of Fengyun clan, given that he's trying his very best to improve the manor lattice strength? Does he want to ruin Fengyun clan? If that's the case, it would be much better if Tang Yu is the manor lady. At least, Tang Yu was not acting unfairly. Manor lady, I have respected you in the beginning. Mo Feifei lowered her eyes, but her anger was clearly seen. She shook her head disappointedly. Sponsored content remove ads? Feng Ruqing was still looking down at Mo Feifei, expressionlessly. Are you done? Mo Feifei pursed her lips tightly. She stared at Feng Ruqing unwillingly. Anyway, the Iron-Blooded Gate has invited me to join them. They'll have someplace else to go even if I leave Fengyun Manor. Now that you're done, Feng Ruching quickly raised her leg and kicked Imo Feifei out of the manor. Imo Feifei was so shocked that her face was distorted. The other disciples were so frightened that they did not dare to say a word. Sponsored content remove ads? Senior Imo was, in fact, a conceited person. She thought that she was the only genius and that no one could compete with her. If ever anyone surpassed her in cultivation, she would think that their strength must have been improved by spirit herbs and not through their own efforts. Imo Feifei still looked down on them, even if they came from the three main forces. She always believed that the people from the three forces were only born to a better family than her. They had a good family background. What was worse was that the three forces had never recruited any outsiders, and no one outside of their family circles could become one of them. So, Imo Feifei had always claimed that no one could be compared to her in terms of talent. She was just unlucky that she was born into an ordinary family in the reclusive world. If she were born into one of the families in the three forces, she would have been unbeatable in the entire world. Even Zheng Chuchu. She treated Zheng Chuchu as her rival, but she had never thought that Zheng Chuchu could beat her in a fight. Sponsored content remove ads? She just assumed that Zheng Chuchu was favored by the elders, and they must have given Zheng Chuchu quite a number of spirit herbs to improve Zheng Chuchu's strength. If not, no one could beat her in this world. Hence, some disciples were displeased with her. They would not have been tolerant of her if she was not powerful. Fifth Elder saw the scene when he had just reached the manor. He was terrified. He stared at Imo Feifei, who was lying on the ground angrily. Then, he rushed toward Feng Ruching immediately. "Manor lady, please calm down. What happened? Did Imo Feifei annoy you?" Feng Ruching glanced at Fifth Elder, calmly. "Who recruited that girl?" Fifth Elder was anxious now. His voice was soft. I did. Sponsored content remove ads? Back then, Feng Ruching paused before continuing. "Why did my mother elect you as an elder? There's something wrong with your foresight." Fifth Elder was so frightened that he almost collapsed there and then. He trembled ceaselessly. "Imo Feifei, what did she do?" Feng Ruching smiled a little. "She questioned me just now. She asked me whether I had consumed all of the spirit herbs in Fengyun Manor's storage. She has even claimed that I've wronged my mother." Fifth Elder's face paled. He turned to Imo Feifei and glared at her, angrily. Chapter 734. Imo Feifei, how dare you? This Fengyun Manor belongs to the Manor Lady. Even if the Manor Lady consumes all of the spirit herbs, it is her right. It's our duty to always be respectful toward the Manor Lady. What right have you to interrogate the Manor Lady? Sponsored content. Although some of the spirit herbs were provided by the disciples, most of the spirit herbs were collected from the Mountain of Herbs. The other high-grade spirit herbs were collected by the Manor Master. The Manor Lady is the heir of Fengyun clan. What if she eats all of the spirit herbs? How could Imo Feifei interrogate the Manor Lady? Imo Feifei vomited a mouthful of blood. She stood up, staggering a few steps. She clenched her fists tightly. If the Manor Lady did not finish up all the spirit herbs, how could she become a dark warrior in so short a time? Fifth Elder looked at Imo Feifei with a disappointed look. "Young lady is right. I was blind before. How could I recruit such a retarded person? I told you that all of the spirit herbs in Fengyun Manor belong to the young lady. Even if she has eaten all of them, you don't have any right to question her. Moreover, the young lady has reunited with the Manor Master only half a year ago. She was only a beginner 19 months ago. All of the people in Fengyun clan knew about Feng Ruching's past before she even came to Fengyun Manor. Sponsored content remove ads? She was just an obese person who could not cultivate. She was even abandoned by her husband. She became strong and powerful in less than 2 years. They did not know how she did that, but her strong and powerful will were stamped hard in their hearts. Ironically, Imo Feifei had blurted such nonsense. Imo Feifei trembled when she thought of that. Her lips trembled slightly, and she turned to look at Feng Ruching gingerly. If Feng Ruching could make a breakthrough to Dark Warrior tier in half a year because of Fengyun Manor, then what about her previous cultivation and breakthrough? Feng Ruching had nothing to do with Fengyun Manor before. Sponsored content remove ads? She was just a girl who's born in the secular world. How could she make a breakthrough so fast there? But Mo Feifei bit her trembling lip. She aimed her subsequent utterance at Qing Ling. That servant stole and ate our divine spirit fruit. I did this for the sake of Fengyun Manor. I did not realize that the manor lady would act such unfairly. She did not know that doing this for the boom. Feng Ruqing attacked again. She kicked Mo Feifei and stared coldly at her, who was now thrown out again. Mo Feifei fell down and vomited a few mouthfuls of blood. She raised her head and saw the cold stare from Feng Ruqing. She trembled because of the coldness and harshness that she felt. Sponsored content. Remove ads. It belongs to my mother. I can give it to whoever I want. When did my mother's divine spirit fruit tree become yours? Mo Feifei was trembling harder now. She's too weak, and isn't it a waste to let her have the divine spirit fruit? A waste? Feng Ruqing laughed softly. Then, she turned and said to the two servants behind her, Qing Ling, Lu Li, go and pick all of the divine spirit fruits from the trees. I like to give my things to the women I adore. Who dares to oppose to that? Her foot was still on Mo Feifei's chest. She did not allow Mo Feifei to stand up. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Thank you, princess, the two servants replied. Qing Ling burst into laughter. She soon rushed toward the tree and climbed up the tree swiftly. Soon, all of the divine spirit fruits were collected. She did not have all of the divine spirit fruits, but she shared it with Lu Li, Zhang Chuchu, and the others. They ate all of the divine spirit fruit in front of Mo Feifei. Princess, Lu Li bit into the fruit once and paused. This divine spirit fruit is not so tasty. Chapter 735. Mo Feifei almost vomited blood again out of frustration. Sponsored content. Her eyes were swollen as she stared at the two servants. We have saved those divine spirit fruits, and now the fruits are ruined by the servants. That servant in green clothes even claims that the divine spirit fruits are not delicious. Lu Li, just bear with it. Qing Ling had another mouthful of it. How can this be compared to the ones we have at the Princess Manor? It's fine that we can have this now to quench our thirst. In fact, we have only 2 of these every day. The Snow Wolf can have 3 of these now. We need to cultivate harder so that we can have more of these. Mo Feifei almost burst into laughter again if Feng Ruqing was not stepping on her chest. Just look at that. How can these 2 servants be so smug? They said that they have divine spirit fruits every day. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Moreover, all of the divine spirit fruits taste just the same. How could there be any difference? It's nonsense. Elder. Mo Feifei gritted her teeth as she turned to look at Fifth Elder. Did you see that? The manor lady is ruining precious things since she came here. Fifth Elder appeared helpless now. It seemed like it was the first time he had ever met Mo Feifei. Mo Feifei sneered. Fengyun clan would be ruined if they continued such reckless acts. Qing Ling swallowed another divine spirit fruit. All of a sudden, she saw another disciple who was staring at her longingly. Qing Ling remembered that the disciple had helped her to stop Mo Feifei. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Although the disciple did not manage to stop Mo Feifei, what she did was righteous. So, Qing Ling did not forget about the disciple's kind act. She sighed softly. She had always created trouble wherever she went before when the princess was still reckless. Later, the princess changed and she did not act recklessly anymore. There you go. The disciple was shocked and her eyes soon turned red. She almost burst into tears. Sponsored content. Remove ads? She thought that she would be unable to have divine spirit fruit this time. Now, she got the chance. She did not eat the fruit immediately but keep it for later. She planned to have the fruit when she was tired from cultivating. Qing Ling. Feng Ruqing's eyes darkened. She scolded Qing Ling. Qing Ling was shocked. She thought that the princess was angry because of what she did. She soon came to stand beside Feng Ruqing guiltily. Princess, you were bullied just now. Why didn't you do something about it? Even if you could not beat her, you could argue with her. Who asked you to bear it patiently? Sponsored content. Remove ads? But Qing Ling realized that Feng Ruqing was infuriated. She lowered her head. Princess doesn't like us to create trouble. It's not you who started it just now. Someone else was bullying you. Feng Ruching turned around calmly and looked at Qing Ling. I don't like to keep cowards by my side. Do you understand that? If anyone bullies you again and you still do the same, they'll send you back to the Princess Manor. Fengyun Manor is my territory. Even if Qing Ling could not beat the bully, she could ask for help from Zhang Chuchu or the others. But she has bore it all patiently. Where did the previous Qing Ling go? She had always acted recklessly before. When did she become like this? Princess, Qing Ling was anxious now. I don't want to return to the Princess Manor. I just want to be stronger with you. I'll never allow anyone to bully me again. I'll argue with them fiercely if they dare to bully me again. Chapter 736. Good. Feng Ruching felt better now. Remember, you need to argue with them even if you cannot defeat them. If you're unable to do that, ask somebody to help you. If calling for someone's help doesn't work, ask a whole group of them. Sponsored content, I understand now. So, they'll give you a chance now. Feng Ruching smiled coldly. She turned to look at Qing Ling. Go and beat her up. Hard. Go and avenge yourself. Give her what she gave you just now. Mo Feifei was shocked. She struggled as she tried to get up from the ground. But she was not allowed to do so because Feng Ruching had her foot down, hard, on her chest. Qing Ling walked toward Mo Feifei and slapped Mo Feifei hard on the face. Her slap was harsh, causing blood to ooze out of Mo Feifei's mouth. That was not the end of it. Qing Ling continued to slap Mo Feifei until she had no more strength left. Sponsored content remove ads? Mo Feifei breathed a sigh of relief in her heart when she saw that Qing Ling was out of breath from exhaustion. No matter what, the punishment has finally come to an end. But Feng Ruching took out a divine spirit fruit and gave it to Qing Ling just as Mo Feifei was starting to feel relieved. Continue. Don't stop. Qing Ling took the divine spirit fruit happily. She bit into it, and her mouth was soon filled with a taste of great sweetness. It was so juicy and delicious compared to the other fruits that she had eaten just now, and it was an unforgettable taste. All of the others were stunned. They stared at the divine spirit fruit in Qing Ling's hand. It had a mouth-watering fragrance. Sponsored content remove ads? They had had divine spirit fruits for so many years, and they were quite familiar with its taste and scent. But the fruit in Qing Ling's hand was clearly much more delicious. Its scent was quite pleasant too. Everyone was entranced. What she said is the truth. The disciple who had received a divine spirit fruit from Qing Ling sighed softly. It's true that she can have those every day. Moreover, I can feel that the spiritual qi of her divine spirit fruit is stronger than the ones in Fengyun Manor. The manor lady seems unbothered by that, and Qing Ling has even casually taken the divine spirit fruit from the manor lattice hand. It is not a big deal to them. They are used to it. Thus, they are used to having those divine spirit fruits. Ironically, what has Mo Feifei said just now? That Qing Ling had stolen the divine spirit fruit? That it is a waste to let her have the fruit? We might really have misunderstood her if Qing Ling was not the manor lattice servant. Sponsored content remove ads? Luckily, we did not harm the manor lattice servant as Mo Feifei did. We're not as unreasonable as her. She's still the manor lattice servant no matter how weak she is. We have no right to harm her. Mo Feifei was stunned. She was cold. She pursed her lips tightly when she saw that Qing Ling was approaching her again. Her mouth was filled with blood, and it tasted metallic. What's worse is that no disciple from our clan is begging for mercy for me. We've been together for so many years. Sponsored content remove ads? What happened next was Mo Feifei's worst nightmare. Feng Ruching gave Qing Ling a divine spirit fruit whenever she felt tired or her hand hurt from all those slaps. She continued punishing her when she regained her strength. After a long time, Qing Ling stopped slapping Mo Feifei as her hands started to feel numb. Mo Feifei's face was swollen, and her face was no longer recognizable. Qing Ling had eaten numerous divine spirit fruits. The other disciples got used to it after some time. They were not that surprised by it anymore. Chapter 737. Fifth Elder, Lei Yun is out to run some errands. Luckily you're here today, as you can help me to expel some of the disciples. Then, they'll let the other elders recommend some new disciples to me since I can't trust your taste in choosing people. Sponsored content. At first, the fifth elder respectfully paid attention to Feng Ruqing's words, but the corners of his lips slowly drooped. He felt a tinge of sadness inside. The manor lady did not have any faith in him. It was not his fault either. While all the others were busy cultivating, he was the only one who had to deal with all the duties throughout the years. How could he pay so much attention to these disciples while his hands were full? What could he have done then? He felt despaired too. Manor lady. Mo Feifei chuckled coldly. Her words were still comprehensible even though she spoke with a lisp. I'm a genius, but you've given up on me and chosen a little servant instead. You'll regret it. Fengyun Manor will regret it too. Sponsored content. Remove ads? Feng Ruqing lowered her eyes and looked at Mo Feifei coldly. Just now, Great Elder has mentioned that I've broken through to Dark Warrior tier in 19 months, while my servant, she has broken through to True Warrior tier within 15 months. What makes you think you are capable of fighting against my woman? What makes her think that no one is better than her? Where did she get that arrogance from? Mo Feifei was surprised as she turned her head around stiffly and looked at Qing Ling. She suddenly felt a chill. 15 months? Sponsored content. Remove ads? How can that be? It's nothing unusual if Feng Ruqing had started her cultivation 19 months ago, since she was too fat and her tendons and vessels were clogged with fat. Fat people do not even have the strength to stand. However, as for this servant, telling me that she had never cultivated before, and that she has just started her cultivation a year ago, that's impossible. That's totally impossible. Genius. Feng Ruqing continued to grin. To me, there's no such thing as genius or idiots. As long as someone is willing to put in the effort, I am capable of turning that person into a genius even if the person is not talented enough. Genius? So what? Other forces emphasized a person's talent. Sponsored content. Remove ads? However, she had an endless supply of spirit herbs and also spirit herb dishes. If you are willing to shed tears and put in all your effort, you will be a genius in the future. Anyway, you remind me of something. Fifth Elder, help me check how many spirit herbs has she consumed in my Fengyun Manor throughout the years, and I want her to spit it out back to me. Demote her ability back to her previous state if she fails to spit it out. Feng Ruqing sneered. So you claim yourself as a genius and look down on the people who have taken more spirit herbs than you, yet you never realize that there are people who are more talented than you in the secular world. Lacking an environment to cultivate is the only trouble they are facing, and also, they don't have the opportunity to take spirit herbs. What have you got to be so proud of? Sponsored content. Remove ads? She assumed that others' current success was gained from relying on the spirit herbs. Indeed, spirit herbs were good for enhancing one's ability as nobody would turn spirit herbs away. However, she was also one of the cultivators who had taken spirit herbs to reach her current capability. What rights did she have to look down on other people? Mo Feifei panicked. That punishment was more terrible to bear compared to the slaps she had borne just now. No, you'll regret treating me like this. So what if I have taken spirit herbs before? My talent does really exist here. Otherwise, all the spirit herbs would be useless if I was not talented enough. Even if I'm demoted, there will still be many other forces that want to recruit me. Well, Feng Ruqing said, calmly. You remind me of something again. Fifth Elder, announce my order. Whoever dares to accept her, Fengyun Manor will attack their city. You. Chapter 738. Mo Feifei's eyes widened in disbelief. Feng Ruqing really wanted to force her out? Sponsored content. Are you not afraid of offending other forces? Feng Ruqing gently smiled. I'm just about to expand and strengthen my Fengyun Manor. If they dare to go against me, I don't mind to take all of them down too. She had already offended the three great forces too. Who else would she be afraid of? Mo Feifei, do you know why I didn't kill you? Feng Ruqing stared at Mo Feifei coldly. Because it'll shatter all of your arrogance, and make no one in the world dare to recruit you. It'll let you experience despair, agony, and nightmares. It'll let everyone understand that I'm the one who is in charge of everything in Fengyun Manor. This is the consequence that anyone who bullies my woman within my domain must bear. Despair dawned on Mo Feifei's face, even though her face was already swollen like a pig head. Choo-choo. Feng Ruching calmly turned around and said, "You'll settle for the rest of this issue. Also, bring those disciples to my manor later. I don't mind if I don't have a talented disciple with me, but my disciple has to be obedient and sensible." Sponsored content remove ads? Yes, Manor Lady, Zhang Chuchu replied, respectfully. Feng Ruching left along with two little servants without saying anything more. Zhang Chuchu approached Mo Feifei after Feng Ruching's shadow faded away. She shook her head and sighed. Manor Lady is the authority in Fengyun Manor. You reap what you sow today. Manor Lady is a person who always stands on the weak side. You'll be doomed if you ever provoked her. Mo Feifei sneered and did not respond to Zhang Chuchu. Zhang Chuchu looked at Mo Feifei hard. If that's the case, it'll let you know how foolish you are to be a self-righteous person. Bang! Suddenly, Zhang Chuchu was surrounded by a layer of a mighty force. That force was strong enough to make Mo Feifei's heart skip a beat. Her eyes widened all of a sudden. Sponsored content remove ads? Advanced Spirit Warrior tier? When did Zhang Chuchu break through to Advanced Spirit Warrior tier? No. She refused to accept the truth. That must not be true. The crowd behind Zhang Chuchu came in front of her. The power that they emanated completely shocked Mo Feifei too. Intermediate Spirit Warrior tier. These fellows. All of them had broken through to Intermediate Spirit Warrior tier. Sponsored content remove ads? How? 6 months ago, Mo Feifei had already reached her bottleneck, just like the situation Zhang Chuchu was facing. Still, she managed to overcome it and break through it after 6 months. However, she was told that those people who could never be her match had all broken through to Intermediate Spirit Warrior tier now? Do you still remember something Master Lei Yun has said before? He said that he would give us a chance to make a choice. If we made the right choice, our future will be bright from then. However, if we made the wrong choice, we can only box ourselves in and stuck for the rest of our life. Luckily, we've made the right choice. A smile spread over Zhang Chuchu's face. Moreover, Manor Lady is such a gentle and caring person. If we follow her, we will live without any regret for the rest of our life. Mo Feifei's heart suddenly grew cold. Even though she was slapped so many times, got expelled from Fengyun Manor, and also got boycotted by Feng Ruching, she had never felt this way before. She finally knew what regret felt like at that very moment. Sponsored content remove ads? She clenched both of her fists tightly, feeling a sense of unfairness and jealousy. If only she had known this earlier, she would definitely have been in Zhang Chuchu's place and be on Feng Ruching's side. But why did Master Lei Yun mention nothing about that? If he had been clear on that, would she ever have made such a terrible choice? Hatred. Full of hatred. Mo Feifei also knew that no matter how regretful she was, her whole life was doomed. Chapter 739 Choo-Choo. Mo Feifei was trying so hard to get up as regretful tears streamed down her face. I've realized my mistakes, and I'm really sorry. Please intercede with Feng Ruching for me. I beg you. Sponsored content. Her hand got shook off just as she wanted to grab Zhang Chuchu's hand. I've warned you before, but you refused to take my advice. You have no one to blame but yourself. But why didn't you make it clear? Why? Mo Feifei's crimson eyes widened as she breathed hard. Zhang Chuchu shook her head disappointedly. It's because I would never have expected you to make such a stupid mistake. Besides, you're always talking behind the back of the three great forces, and you think that no disciples from the three great forces are more talented than you. Do you know what harm you would bring to Fengyun Manor every time you speak like that? Therefore, you're not fit to stay here. Mo Feifei collapsed again after Zhang Chuchu finished speaking. Her eyes were filled with deep pain and she could barely say a word. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Somewhere far away from Fengyun Manor beyond the borders of Lu Yun Kingdom, a young girl was rubbing her cold arms as her eyes were filled with rage. Finally, I've reached Lu Yun Kingdom after walking for quite a while. After she had succeeded in dumping Gui and staying within Lu Yun Kingdom for several days, finally, she met Nancian. However, in the end, Nancian threw her away before she could even approach him. After that, she was thrown to the Southern Ocean and coincidentally, she bumped into a white phoenix. Unfortunately, the white phoenix was also asking for information about Lu Yun Kingdom at the same time. Access web novel. Live if you like watching manga comics. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? She pointed in the opposite direction to the white phoenix since she had nowhere to vent her anger and planned to head over to Lu Yun Kingdom after doing so. However, the white phoenix appeared again as she was about to enter Lu Yun Kingdom. It seemed to have lost its way and bumped into her again. The phoenix knew that she had pointed the wrong direction to it deliberately, so it swept her up and flew around the sky for a bit. Soon, she was flown to northern wilderness along with the white phoenix and got thrown down from the sky into the wild. That fall would have already killed her if she was not strong enough. Luckily, she could finally reach Lu Yun Kingdom this time. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Previously, Nancian was being cruel to her as he must have thought she was someone who was up to no good. If she let Nancian know of her feelings, he would definitely be aware that she was not a bad person. And Chui took a deep breath as she looked at the three big words, Lu Yun Kingdom, that was located not far away. No matter what, I'm still a member of Tianshan Manor. Who would dare to not show me some respect besides him? He's the only one that treats me this way. Oh, speaking of which, there's still that phoenix. They'll peel the phoenix's skin off if I ever see it next time. It has inconvenienced me from getting here. An old voice surrounded in Chui as soon as she finished her mumbling. Tianshan Manor? You're from Tianshan Manor? And Chui turned her head in shock. Then, she saw a person dressed in a black robe appearing in front of her. The old man's face was hard to be seen clearly as his whole figure was covered in the black robe. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? However, the vibes he emanated was overwhelming enough to force Chui to take several steps backward. And CY's eyes looked vigilant. Who are you? It would be easy if you were from Tianshan Manor, since I'm here to look for the people from Tianshan Manor. Suddenly, the old man had flown in front of her, and Chui shrieked in terror. The old man grabbed onto her sleeves as soon as she started to scream. He raised her up and violently threw her onto the floor. Chapter 740. And Chui fell to the ground in shock. She was pale and lifted her head dazedly as her messy hair had covered her eyes. Sponsored content, it was obvious that she did not know what had happened. Bang! The old man swung his palm and slapped Chui until her whole face was red and swollen. She came back to her sense from the shock as her eyes were filled with anger. Do you know who I am? My uncle is Tianshan Manor's master. The old man paused as soon as he heard that. He tried to control his shaking palm as he looked at her expressionlessly and said coldly, I've told you just now, I want to look for someone from Tianshan Manor. You. And Chui took several steps backward and gritted her teeth. So what do you want? How has Tianshan Manor offended you? Why do you treat me in such a way? The black-robed old man slowly approached Chui and sneered. Not a big deal. Just tell me where Tianshan Manor is. And Chui was speechless. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? This old thing was being harsh to her, but all he wanted to know was Tianshan Manor's location. He should have said it earlier, so she would not be in such agony then. Tianshan. And Chui swallowed her saliva and tasted something metallic in her mouth. Before she could finish her words, the black-robed old man dragged her up upright and smashed her onto the ground again. Her head hit a tree trunk nearby, and she nearly fainted as the impact was high. It seems that the people of Tianshan Manor are filled with lofty and unyielding spirits who still refuse to tell me anything even when they're dying. They'll do as you wish if that's what you want. The black-robed old man's voice was filled with coldness, ruthlessness, and a hint of murderous intention. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? And Chui almost cried as she felt so wronged. When did she mention that she was reluctant to tell him? What was so important about the lofty and unyielding spirits? What was the use of lofty and unyielding spirits when one was about to die? I'll tell you, I'll tell you. And Shui immediately blurted as soon as the old man raised his hand again. She was so afraid he would beat her again. There's an island at the Southern Ocean, and on the island, there's a jungle. Then, there's a tactical formation within the jungle. Once you break the tactical formation, you will be able to enter Tianshan Manor. However, some people were guarding Tianshan Manor. It would be impossible for someone to enter the manor if one did not have Tianshan Manor's token. Moreover, it would definitely provoke all the forces around Tianshan Manor to kill the person if such a person was able to find the way to Tianshan Manor without the token. Access web novel. Live if you like watching manga comics. That was the price he had to pay for interrogating her. Bang! Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? The old man smacked the back of her head, making her sprawl on the ground. And Shui crawled up angrily as she spat the dirt from her mouth. I've already told you where it is. What else do you want? Today, I'm here to teach you Tianshan Manor a lesson. TSK, I am here to roast Tianshan Manor. Hand the Tianshan Manor's token to me immediately. Don't you think I'm not aware that I need the token to enter Tianshan Manor? And Shui trembled angrily. This old man finally had spoken the truth. Simply wanting to know the location of Tianshan Manor? Who would be so dumb to want to simply pay a visit to Tianshan Manor in this mainland? He had hurt her simply because he knew that she was Gu Shi's niece, and had also found a ridiculous excuse for doing so. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Did he really think that she was that stupid to not be able to find out his true intentions? Who the hell are you? And Cui's eyes looked red. If she gave him the token, she would be unable to return to Tianshan Manor, unless she returned to Gu Yi's side again. If she did so, she did not have the excuse to approach Nincian on her own anymore. The black-robed old man was lazy to exchange nonsense with her as he approached Shui in a cold and an overbearing manner. Chapter 741. The old man punched and kicked Shui without giving her any chance to speak. With the continuous punching, Cui's face and nose were beaten black and blue, and until she vomited a mouthful of blood. Sponsored content. Her voice was trembling as she was finally terrified. Don't you only want the token? They'll give it to you. Isn't that enough? And Shui swiftly took out the token and threw it in front of the black-robed old man as soon as she finished speaking. However, the black-robed old man seemed to have not noticed it as his old ferocious fists continued landing on Cui's body, just like a fierce wind. And Shui spat out a mouthful of fresh blood again. She cried hysterically, I've already given you the token. Why do you still refuse to let go of me? Why? What wrong had she done? Just because she was a member of Tianshan Manor? If that old fellow really wanted to look for someone, he should go for stupid people like Gu Yi. Why did he come for her? Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Oh. The old man finally came back to his senses as he drew his fists back reluctantly. He kept the token and turned around calmly. A message to the people of Tianshan Manor. Do not show up anywhere else in the future, or else I'll beat him or her up if I see one. And Cui's body trembled slightly as she stared in the direction that the old man left. Her eyes were filled with deep grudges. She would make this damn scoundrel pay his price once she returned to Tianshan Manor. Do you really think that I won't be able to find out your identity by doing so? And Shui sneered as she swung her hand, and then a token showed up in her palm. You must pay the price if you dare to lay your hands on me. She took that token from the old man's waist when he was unaware so that she could find out who exactly he was. However, Shui froze as soon as she saw the 3 words on the token. Download our sponsor's game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? The Divine Herbs Sect? He's from the Divine Herbs Sect? The 3 great forces were in a seemingly peaceful state. However, they were, in fact, fighting each other all the while. The Divine Herbs Sect would actually commit such a dirty action by stabbing someone's back. She must inform her uncle and ask him to avenge her. In the meantime, and Shui could never see the black-robed old man's legs go limp and fell down sitting on the floor. Read more chapter on VIP novel. Calm a breeze blew, bringing a chill. He did not know when he had broken out in a cold sweat. Oh no, I've beaten the niece of Tianshan Manor Master? She doesn't seem to know that from Fengyun Manor as the Divine Herb sect has been made a scapegoat for this. Fengyun Manor shall be able to cut itself from this. He never expected he could be in such good luck as he immediately bumped into the niece of Tianshan Manor Master. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Before that, from his observation, he attacked her just because he thought she was not smart enough. However, his action was no different than stirring up the hornet's nest. Alas. Lei Yun wiped away the tears on his forehead and smiled bitterly. There's nothing else I can do. Manor Lady must enter Tianshan Manor. So that was the least I could do to send her in. Without another word, he tugged the brim of his hat again. He slowly crawled up from the ground, heading in the direction of the Divine Herb sect. Yes, he was heading toward the Divine Herb sect but not returning back to Fengyun Manor. Also, just as Shui came back to her senses, she secretly tailed him, her body covered in scars. She stopped after she tailed him for only a distance. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? That way only led to one place. The Divine Herb sect. Surely, he's from the Divine Herb sect. And Shui glanced hatefully in the direction where Lei Yun had disappeared. She slowly turned around and stopped tailing him. If she got too close to the Divine Herb sect, she was afraid that the people of the Divine Herb sect would come out and beat her to death, or at least she would be crippled. Chapter 742. The Battle Between Two White Lotuses 3 Master. Sponsored content inside the forest. Qingzhu popped its head out and twisted its neck to look at Nanxian. This woman. She seems to be the girl who wanted to pounce on you before. Nanxian stared, coldly, in the direction where Shui had left, and then he glanced at the wide road that led to the Divine Herb sect. I remember, Tianshan Manor's disciples. There are quite a number of them outside. Qingzhu went rigid as it slowly lifted its head. It looked at Nanxian blankly. Master, what do you mean? Within the northern wilderness, there's a charming snake. Like you? Nanxian remained calm. Qingzhu's body turned more rigid. Master, I don't like it. I really don't like any single bit of it. Snake soup, or you go seduce that charming snake. Nanxian glanced at Qingzhu, calmly. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Qingzhu's eyes were wild with horror. That snake. Although it was a charming snake, it was not very good-looking as it only likes the snake, which was stunning in their look. It'll choose the snake, just as it wanted to choose to be snake soup. It quickly took its words back as it saw the light that flashed in Nanxian's eyes. It'll go and seduce the charming snake, however. I want dedicate my body. Well, Nanxian shifted his calm eyes in the direction of the Divine Herb sect again. You'll make the charming snake go to the Divine Herb sect to cast a spell on them. Make those people attack the people of Tianshan Manor. Qingzhu remained in silence for quite a while before it started to speak again. Master, you are asking me to seduce charming snake just because you want the people of the Divine Herbs sect to attack the people of Tianshan Manor? The corners of Nanxian's lips lifted a little. Qinger wants to pin the blame on Tianshan Manor, so they should be made a scapegoat for it. But, Qingzhu protested weakly after it thought for a while. Aren't you able to bring Her Highness to Tianshan Manor if she wants to head over there? Since you're around, it's only burning daylight by doing so. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Nanxian's cold eyes were gradually filled with gentleness. If that's what she wishes for, what's wrong for me to do nonsense with her? Qingzhu was speechless. Ever since its master met the princess, Qingzhu always had the feeling that its master was not the same master it had known before. When the princess was doing nonsense, he would be an ally or even clean up the mess for her. It really had never seen such a master before. Nanxian did not stay as he slowly turned around. Qingzhu felt tension in its heart. Master, are we going to the northern wilderness now? Won't you give me a chance to prepare? The charming snake is really too frightening. Really? I'm scared. Not only did it look ugly, but it was powerful too. Read comics on our web novel. Live on top of that, it was no match with the charming snake. What should Qingzhu do if it really got stuck with the charming snake? Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Had anybody felt sympathy for it before? However, Nanxian did not give Qingzhu a chance as they had vanished into thin air. In Lu Yun Kingdom, not far away in a house, Mu Ling rubbed his temples as his head ached. His body was quite weak, and obviously, that was an indulgent sensual pleasure to much look. Hani, how's that woman now? The man who was half kneeling in front of Mu Ling was the man who had previously poisoned Feng Ruqing. He started murmuring after he heard that sentence. That girl is still making trouble and refuses to leave. I've promised her a lot of benefits, but she's still reluctant to leave and insists on following you. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Mu Ling seemed more annoyed now. He clenched his fists tightly as his eyes were filled with anger. It would have been fine if she has a pure and unstained body. I'm not that unreasonable. Since I've used her as an antidote, they'll definitely give her an explanation. However, she's stained, and if I take her into my house to be my concubine, what will happen to my reputation? Chapter 743. Half a month ago, when Mu Ling looked for Suyi in Lu Yun Kingdom, he had never thought that Suyi, the lady who loved him wholeheartedly, would spike his drink with an aphrodisiac. Sponsored content. As soon as Mu Ling left Lu Yun Kingdom, he completely lost his mind, and even his spiritual qi was not capable of controlling his desire. Originally, he wanted to go back to Suyi, but Suyi had left. Hence, he had no choice but to simply pick a lady in Lu Yun Kingdom to satisfy his needs. The lady had quickly agreed to Mu Ling's request, as soon as she knew that Mu Ling was from Tianshan Manor, and the only condition was to make her his concubine. Mu Ling had agreed. He knew that Qingyin was considerate. She would not stop him from getting a concubine. Moreover, all these years, Mu Ling only had one concubine, Qingyin. He had treated both Suyi and Qingyin quite well. Currently, this was the only thing he could do. However, he had just found out that the lady whom he slept with was not a virgin. The thought that he had slept with a lady who had slept with someone else before caused a wave of nausea to wash over him. His face darkened a few shades. Young manor master, do you want me to kill the lady secretly? Han Yi's eyes filled with murderous intent. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Suyi knows about this. If she finds out that we have killed this lady, she will tell the old master. There are also the rules of the reclusive world. Even if there were no such rules, I would disgrace the Mu family if I don't take the responsibility after sleeping with her. Mu Ling shook his head. Young manor master, can't we just take her back to the Mu family without making her your concubine? Just let her stay at the Mu family as long as she doesn't stir up trouble and doesn't let the other clans know that she has lost her chastity. Hani paused for a while before he suggested, hesitantly, that's the only thing we can do now. Mu Ling heaved a soft sigh. If Suyi had not set Mu Ling up, he would never have allowed this lady stepped into the Mu family. However, currently, he must do so for the Mu family's reputation. I will leave this to you. Get her to keep her mouth shut. If she dares to spread it around, kill her immediately. At your command, young manor master. Hani retreated. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? In the room, smoke curled up in the air from the incense burner. A half-naked lady was lying on the bed. Her head rested against the headboard. Scratches could be seen all over her snowy white skin. One could imagine how much torture she had gone through in the past few days. A sudden knock at the door broke the silence. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Come in. The lady quickly put on a coat to cover her body before she spoke. Hani stepped into the room. He scanned the lattice face. His eyes were filled with disdain. Lady Tan, The young manor master agrees to bring you back to the Mu family. However, you must know your place. You are not a virgin. If anyone knows this, not only would you disgrace the young manor master, you might even lose your life. I understand. Tan Shuang lowered her head. Fear crossed her face. Get your stuff ready. We are leaving soon. Han's cold gaze looked past Tan Shuang as he turned to walk out of the room. Watching Hani leaving, Tan Shuang's eyes were filled with contempt. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? He is merely a guard and he dares disrespect me. When I have gotten into the Mu family, I will settle the score with you. Tan Shuang had never thought that she would be so lucky. Lu Fuyong and Lady Lu had a quarrel because of her the other day. Hence, she went out of the Chancellor's manor for a breath of fresh air and bumped into Mu Ling. Originally, Mu Ling had agreed to make her his concubine. However, when he knew that she had lost her chastity to someone else, he regretted his decision and wanted to give her something to send her away. Chapter 744. The battle between two white lotuses v with Tan Shuang's current strength. Even if she had gotten something precious from Mu Ling, she was not capable of protecting it. However, if she was part of the Mu family, things would be completely different. Sponsored content naturally, Tan Shuang was not short-sighted. She knew what worked best for her. She already had a plan. If Mu Ling refused to keep his promise, she would tell the world that Mu Ling had raped her. In the end, Mu Ling would be the one who suffers. If only I had known that I will meet Mu Ling, I would never have slept with the old coot, Lu Fuyong. Tan Shuang clenched her fists, resentfully. All these years, she had given Lu Yuchen everything she had except her body. In the end, she had actually lost her chastity to an old coot. If it was not because Feng Ruqing had taken Lu Yuchen's heart away, Tan Shuang would never have fallen into such a sorry state, much less being someone else's concubine. Tan Shuang did not know what awaited her in the Mu family. She only knew that the Mu family was her final hope, her last chance to completely turn her fate over and put Feng Ruqing under her foot. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Feng Ruqing. Even if you have taken Lu Yuchen away and won the state preceptor's heart, they have nothing else but handsome faces. As for me, even if I am just a concubine, I am still part of the Mu family. Tan Shuang broke into scornful laughter. Tan Shuang's family background and status were no match for Feng Ruqing. However, she was far better than Feng Ruqing in choosing the right man. She believed that even though Mu Ling did not seem to like her now, he would definitely accept her entirely one day. Tan Shuang had never expected that what awaited her, from the first day she stepped into the Mu family, was a tragedy of a lifetime. In the Mu family of Tianshan Manor, Brother Ling, download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Chun Qingyan rushed toward the door briskly and greeted Mu Ling with her smiling eyes. Her voice was extremely soft. As soon as she saw Tan Shuang behind Mu Ling, Chun Qingyan's smile faded and her lips stiffened. At the same time, Tan Shuang too was staring at Chun Qingyan. Indeed, Tianshan Manor was a better place than the world outside, as countless stunning beauties could be seen in the Tianshan Manor. Standing before Chun Qingyan, the lady who still had a great deal of charm despite her age, Tan Shuang, who was once the prettiest lady in Lu Yun Kingdom, could not help feeling inferior. The only thing Tan Shuang had that was better than Chun Qingyan was her age. Brother Ling, this lady is... Chun Qingyan forced a smile, her voice extremely soft. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? I was drugged and had simply picked a lady to satisfy my needs. However, since I have slept with her, I will be responsible for the things that I have done. Qingyan, she will be staying in the Mu family from now on, Mu Ling said, helplessly. Mu Ling did not tell her anything about Suyi. Simply no one knew that he had done this for his own reputation or Suyi's. Hearing this, Chun Qingyan's heart was broken, dripping with blood as if hundreds of thousands of needles pricked into her heart. As Suyi had not stayed in the Mu family all these years, Chun Qingyan was Mu Ling's one and only. She had become so possessive and would never let others share Mu Ling's affections. This time, Mu Ling had actually brought a lady back to the Mu family. He had even slept with her. Thinking of this, the day Mu Ling married Suyi flashed in her mind. She clenched her fists tightly, color drained from her face. Qing Yin. Mu Ling was panicked. He hurriedly held onto Qing Yan's body. His eyes were sorrowful. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? If you don't like her, I will let her stay outside of the manor. Is that all right? Chapter 745. The Battle Between Two White Lotuses 6. There is no need. Chun Qingyan slowly regained her composure as she said smilingly. Sponsored content, Brother Ling. All the men out there have multiple wives and concubines. I am deeply thankful and blessed that you only have Sister Suyi and me by your side and have not gotten another concubine all these years. It is true that I am upset as you are getting another concubine. It's because I truly love you. However, I respect your decision. Chun Qingyan paused for a while. She loosened her fists as she smiled helplessly. You are the most important thing to me. Don't worry about me, and don't throw her out of the manor. I am not Sister Suyi. I love you, and I will accept everything that you do. I will never be so ruthless and leave the manor just because you take a concubine. Mu Ling's hand stiffened as he heaved a soft sigh. You're right. Suyi is truly ruthless. Mu Ling truly loved Suyi back then, but Suyi had left him, and now she had even spiked his drink. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? It would be extremely great if Suyi were half as sensible as you. Mu Ling smiled wryly. Brother Ling, Sister Suyi, is not coming back? Chun Qingyan pursed her lips as she asked fearfully. She will be back on the old master's birthday. Mu Ling shook his head as he said, That's great. Brother Ling, don't worry. I will move out after that. If Sister Suyi does not like Sister Shuang, she could stay with me. I will take good care of her. Chun Qingyan smiled brightly like a child. Mu Ling stared at the lady who was smiling so brilliantly before him. He then closed his eyes. All the memories flooded his mind. As the old master had always vented his anger on Qingyan, she had gone through so much struggle because of Suyi. Even her health had been declining all these years. Everything that Qingyan had done was to make Suyi come back to the Mu family. But what had Suyi done? She was nothing but a spoilt and bratty lady who had never respected her own husband and observed the 3 obedience and 4 virtues. 1. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Qingyan, you don't have to move out. Even if you moved out, Suyi might not be happy. Unless I divorce you. Mu Ling opened his eyes slowly. Startled, Chun Qingyan's face was ghastly pale as fear crept into her eyes. Seeing this, Mu Ling's heart was broken. Don't worry, I won't divorce you. I won't divorce Tan Shuang either. Since Suyi wanted Mu Ling to stay with other ladies, he would do as she wished. Hopefully, Suyi would not regret the things that she had done. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Brother Ling, I feel greatly relieved after hearing your words. You were gone for so many days. It's time to visit the old master. Let me bring Sister Shuang to get some rest. Chun Qingyan smiled, faintly. All right, I will leave her to you. Honey, let's go. Mu Ling said with a smile on his face as he trusted Chun Qingyan. As soon as Mu Ling finished his words, he stroked his sleeve and walked away. He did not even spare a glance at Tan Shuang. Right after Mu Ling left, the smile on Chun Qingyan's face disappeared immediately. Don't you ever think that you were his wife just because you got into his bed? I am the master of the Mu family. Even Suyi is no match for me, much less you. Chun Qingyan stared coldly at Tan Shuang. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Look at you now. You have promised to take care of me. Aren't you afraid that I will let him know what you have done to me? Tan Shuang gritted her teeth tightly. You can give it a try. I want to know who he trusts, you or me. Chun Qingyan laughed, scornfully. Tan Shuang had met people in her life, but she had never met someone who could act better than her. 1. Confucian moral injunctions for women, namely, obey and turn three men, father, husband, and son. The four virtues are morality, physical charm, propriety in speech, and efficiency in needlework. Chapter 746. It was only when Tan Shuangshuang had met Chen Qingyan, only then she realized how terrible this lady was. Sponsored content. Your name is Tan Shuangshuang, right? Chen Qingyan approached Tan Shuangshuang slowly, her lips curved into a sneer. In the Mu family, even if I killed you, Brother Ling would definitely think that you have done something wrong to me first. If you are smart, leave Brother Ling now, otherwise don't blame me for the things that I will do later. Chen Qingyan would never let Tan Shuangshuang stay at the Mu family. As she could not reject Mu Ling's request, she could only make Tan Shuangshuang leave the Mu family on her own. Mu Ling's wife must be only Chen Qingyan. The smell of his skin, his body, his children, all belonged to Chen Qingyan. Simply no one else could share his man. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Whenever Chen Qingyan thought of how Mu Ling had gotten into bed with Tan Shuangshuang, she could not hold back the urge to tear Tan Shuangshuang into pieces and make her disappear from her life. I won't leave. Tan Shuangshuang gritted her teeth tightly. She had gone through so many struggles in order to reach this place. Obviously, she would not leave. Are you sure? Chen Qingyan's face was getting colder. Disregarding Chen Qingyan, Tan Shuangshuang walked past her. At this time, a glimmer of wickedness flashed in Chen Qingyan's eyes. She gripped Tan Shuangshuang's arm tightly, slapped hard across her face, and slammed her to the ground. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Qingyan. Originally, Mu Ling had wanted to visit the old master, but he went back to Chen Qingyan as he had something to speak to her about, but was greeted by the scene of Chen Qingyan slamming Tan Shuangshuang to the ground. Qingyan. What had happened? Mu Ling rushed to Chen Qingyan, held onto her shoulders as he asked anxiously. As Mu Ling knew that Chen Qingyan would never lose her temper easily, why would she hurt Tan Shuangshuang? Chen Qingyan burst into tears as she bit her lower lip. Her face was full of grievances. Brother Ling, I can't take care of her. What happened? Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? She said that I am just a concubine, just like her, that I have no right to stick my nose into her business. She had even asked me to clean up Sister Suyi's room so she could stay there. I have told her that Sister Suyi will definitely return to the Mu family. Hence, she must not take her room. But she maligned Sister Suyi and called her a homewrecker. She said that since Sister Suyi had left the Mu family, why must we keep this room for her? She may malign me, but she can never malign Sister Suyi. She had even wanted to take Sister Suyi's place. Brother Ling, if you don't love me anymore, I will leave this place. Why must you get a lady to do this to me? Chen Qingyan's voice was caught in her throat. Spluttering with rage, Mu Ling clenched his fists tightly. I can't accept that you have another concubine. But why do you purposely hurt me like this? She said you told her that she was prettier and younger than me. Her skin is better than mine, and that you are no longer in love with Sister Suyi and me, as both of us are old. She is young and pretty. She would definitely replace us one day. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Chen Qingyan's fists slammed into Mu Ling's chest. She was no longer delicate and sensible as she used to be. Her face was ghastly pale and filled with sorrow. Tan Shuangshuang. Mu Ling's bloodshot eyes pierced into Tan Shuangshuang. The anger brewing in him was so obvious that he looked as if he was a man-eating tiger. Standing upright but dazed, Tan Shuangshuang did not say a word. It was her who was beaten up. Why could Mu Ling not tell right from wrong? Tan Shuangshuang could not help recalling the time when Lu Yuchen had defended her back then. Chapter 747 Previously, no matter what Tan Shuangshuang told Lu Yuchen, he would trust her without any doubt. Hence, he had annoyed Feng Ruching again and again until one day, Feng Ruching had had enough of him and dumped him. Sponsored content. When you were in the secular world, I had to adhere to the rules. Now that you have stepped into the Mu family, you are my wife. No one dares to say anything if I penalize my own wife. Mu Ling snarled. His eyes were icy cold. Take her to the torture chamber. Squeeze her fingers with sticks and slap her until her lips split. I want to see if she dares to make any irresponsible remarks again in the future. It was fortunate that Qingyin was simple-hearted and never hold grudges. If anyone else heard this, even Suyi would hold grudges against him and never tell him the things that she had heard. Hence, it would only worsen the whole situation. Tan Shuangshuang's body slumped to the ground. A flicker of fear crossed her eyes. No, I don't want to be punished. I want to leave here. I want to leave the Mu family. Tan Shuangshuang flew into a great panic and stumbled toward the door. She had never felt so regretful before. If only she had known that Chen Qingyin was such a dreadful lady and that Mu Ling was such a fool before this, she would never step into the Mu family. At least, Lu Fuyong protected her. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Just as Tan Shuangshuang took a few steps forward, Han Yi blocked her way. Bang! Han Yi's palm fell on Tan Shuangshuang's shoulder, sending her flying backward. Her face was ghastly pale. Ouch! My stomach hurts. It is killing me. Tan Shuangshuang was rolling on the ground in pain. Tan Shuangshuang, stop acting. Mu Ling merely frowned. My stomach hurts. It really hurts. Beads of cold sweats could be seen covering Tan Shuangshuang's head. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Mu Ling signaled Han Yi to check Tan Shuangshuang. Although Han Yi barely knew some basic medical skills, he could tell whether or not she was acting. Han Yi approached Tan Shuangshuang. When his hand felt her pulse, his body stiffened. Young manner master. She is 40 days pregnant. 40 days ago was the day Mu Ling was drugged. Chen Qingyin lost her balance and could only stand by clinging onto Mu Ling's arms. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? She pursed her lips. Her face was ghastly pale. Tan Shuangshuang was pregnant with Mu Ling's child. Once again, the man whom Chen Qingyin loved the most had gotten another lady pregnant. She could feel as if a hammer was hitting at her heart over and over again. Currently, even if she tore both Tan Shuangshuang and his child apart, she was not capable of wiping out the agony tearing at her heart. Qingyin, Mu Ling hurriedly held onto Chen Qingyian's arms and turned to glare at Han Yi. What are you doing? Take her to the torture chamber. Don't hurt her child. After all, Tan Shuangshuang was pregnant with Mu Ling's child. Mu Ling only had 2 sons, Nan Xian who had never listened to him and Mu Shi whom he could never count on. Hence, he simply could not do anything to Tan Shuangshuang before his child was born. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? As soon as Tan Shuangshuang knew that she was pregnant, her face did not change but her body shook violently. 40 days ago, Lu Fuyong had had a quarrel with Lady Lu as she had caught Lu Fuyong in bed with Tan Shuangshuang. Hence, besides Mu Ling, Tan Shuangshuang had actually slept with Lu Fuyong on the very same day. However, this child must be Mu Ling's. Mu Ling was drugged and had slept with her over and over again for half a month. He was so strong whereas Lu Fuyong was just a week-old coot. Hence, she must be pregnant with Mu Ling's child. Chapter 748. Thinking of this, Tan Shuangshuang's entire face changed. She looked much more relaxed now. She no longer wanted to run away. Sponsored content. If she gave birth to a son, her status in the Mu family would rise. As Chen Qingyin was no longer young, Tan Shuangshuang would definitely replace her one day. Her lips curved into a sneer. As Han Yi was afraid that Tan Shuangshuang might upset Chen Qingyin, he quickly took Tan Shuangshuang out of the courtyard. Currently, there were only Mu Ling and Chen Qingyin left standing there. Qingyin, I won't let Tan Shuangshuang stay in the Mu family. You will take care of her child after she has successfully delivered the child. Is that all right? Exhausted, Chen Qingyin closed her eyes. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Mu Ling wanted to keep this child after all. He even wanted Qin Qingyin to take care of this child. Had he ever thought that he would break her heart by doing so? How could she accept the child he had had with another lady? Brother Ling, I am tired. I need to get some rest. Qin Qingyin smiled wryly as she shook off Mu Ling's hand and turned to leave. Just as Qin Qingyin turned around, her eyes caught onto a man who was sitting on a stone bench not far away. Seeing this, Qin Qingyian's body stiffened. With a book in his hand, the man looked extremely weak. His cold eyes were fixed on both Mu Ling and Qin Qingyin. Mu Qingyin? Why is he there? How long has he been sitting there? Did he witness the entire incident? Qin Qingyian's face darkened a few shades. She clenched her fists tightly. A glint of fear crept into her eyes. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Second brother, someone has bullied your sister just now. Why didn't you help her? Mu Ling frowned as he said. He had just seen Mu Qingyin too. I told you many times. She is just a concubine, not my sister-in-law. Moreover, she is really something. She doesn't need my help at all. The corner of Mu Qingyian's lips curved into a faint smile. Hearing this, Qin Qingyian's pale face grew even paler. It seemed that Mu Qingyin had witnessed the whole situation. It was true that Mu Qingyin knew what Qin Qingyin had done to Tan Shuangshuang. He knew that Qin Qingyin had framed Tan Shuangshuang. Brother Ling, am worn out. Shall we rest? Qin Qingyin pursed her lips as she asked softly. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Alright, let's get back to the chamber. Hearing this, Mu Ling could feel a tingling sensation in his heart. He held onto Qin Qingyian's shoulder as he said. At this time, Mu Qingyin was still sitting nonchalantly on the stone bench. His face was sickly pale. However, he did not say anything as he knew that even if he told Mu Ling what he had seen, Mu Ling would never believe him. Mu Ling would never believe that the lady who slept by his side was actually a vicious monster. Moreover, Mu Ling would never believe that this monstrous lady had driven Suyi out of the Mu family. Since Mu Ling would not believe in him, why should Mu Qingyin tell him? Furthermore, Tan Shuangshuang was terribly greedy. It was not a bad idea to let both Tan Shuangshuang and Qin Qingyin fight against each other. As Mu Ling and Qin Qingyin had not met each other for quite a long while, once both of them got back to the chamber, they could no longer hold back their desires. In the blink of an eye, Qin Qingyin stripped naked before his eyes. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Seeing this, a burning flame of desire swept through Mu Ling, but his lower body was not in the slightest bit responding to the arousal. He had tried a few times, but all in vain. What happened to me? At this time, a glint of fear crossed his handsome face. Mu Ling had lost the ability in bed. Mu Ling suddenly recalled the day he got into bed with Tan Shuangshuang. He had slept with her over and over again, but he did not manage to completely get rid of the aphrodisiac. Hence, they had continued on and on for half a month. That was crazy. During that time, his energy was so unprecedentedly good, and he had never been so powerful before. Even Tan Shuangshuang had constantly begged him to stop. Chapter 749. What happened to Mu Ling? Why was he not aroused at all? Sponsored content Suyi. It must have something to do with the spiked drink. Mu Ling collapsed to the ground. Blazing with rage, his body was shivering. Suyi hated Mu Ling so much that she had actually done this out of revenge, so that Mu Ling could never touch another lady ever again? Brother Ling, what happened? Qin Qingyin panicked. She held onto Mu Ling's arm tightly. What could she do if Mu Ling had truly lost the ability in bed? I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. Mu Ling rubbed his head, puzzled. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? It seems that I have lost the ability in bed after my drink was spiked. As Mu Ling had never slept with Tan Shuangshuang after he had completely detoxified his body, he had no idea that he had lost such ability. Stunned, Qin Qingyian's body shuddered violently. She lost her balance and nearly fell down. All of a sudden, Qin Qingyin clung tightly onto Mu Ling's arm as if she had thought of something. Brother Ling, I heard someone in Paramount is capable of making herbal dishes with a great healing effect. We could get that person to treat you. If that person refuses to treat you, we could ask her to make herbal dishes for you. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? The young master of Paramount is part of Deity's Gate. Would his subordinate listen to me? Mu Ling put her arms down slowly. Brother Ling, the person who is capable of making such a powerful herbal dish is really something. As long as we can provide her with the spirit herbs, she must be able to make powerful herbal dishes out of it. Then, we could pay her with spirit herbs in return to keep her with us. However, if she refuses, Chun Qingyin pursed her lips hesitantly. If that person is a lady, we could make her Sierra's wife, and if that person is a young master, we could marry Mu Huan to him. We could bond that person through a marriage with the Mu family so he or she can continuously treat you. Brother Ling, I won't hesitate to sacrifice Huaner and Sierra's happiness for the sake of your health. Since both Tang Yin and Gu Yi had called off the marriage with Nan Xian, if the rare talent in Paramount could heal me, I would make her Nan Xian's first wife. If that person is a young master, Huaner will marry him. Suddenly, Mu Ling's eyes lit up. Such a rare talent was indeed a perfect match for Nan Xian. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Hearing this, Chun Qingyian's face stiffened. Her hands balled into fists. No matter how much Mu Ling cared for Sierra, he would give the best thing to Nan Xian, including a good marriage. All right. However, you know Sierra very well. He had rejected the 2 marriages that you have arranged for him before. Naturally, he might not accept this one, too. We must not delay your treatment anymore. If he refuses this marriage, Sierra will marry her. Chun Qingyin bit back the resentment in her heart and broke into a faint smile. All right, but before that, we need to find out whether that person is male or female, old or young. Mu Ling sighed softly. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Sure. Brother Ling, I will get Sierra to find out about that person. Chun Qingyin said with a soft smile on her face. It's going to be hard for you. By the way, don't let Sierra know what had happened to me. I don't want this to leak out and disgrace the Mu family. In Mu Ling's eyes, reputation and dignity were more important than anything else in the world. He must never let others know that he had lost his ability in bed. He could not bear such great humiliation. Chapter 750, what did you just say? Sponsored content in the manner. Gu Shi slammed his hand on the table as he snarled. His handsome face was filled with mild anger. Are you sure the bastards who attacked us are from the Divine Herbs sect? Manor Master, this subordinate had dealt with the people from the Divine Herbs sect before. I am sure that they are the disciples of the Divine Herbs sect. The middle-aged man kneeled down as he answered, respectfully. This Divine Herbs sect has got some nerve. How dare they mess with Tianshan Manor? Send someone to Lu Yun Kingdom to bring Yi back. I am going to the Divine Herbs sect now. I swear I will never let them off easily if they don't straighten this out. With one hand behind his back, Gu Shi got up slowly and strode toward the door. His unruffled expression hid a storm brewing behind his eyes. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Feng Ruqing was the mastermind behind this, but she had never thought that it would have such a great impact. Naturally, she did not know that Nan Xian had been adding fuel to the flame. These days, Feng Ruqing was really having a great time. Besides going into closed-door cultivation, the only thing that she was enjoying was the breathtaking mountain views together with some lady servants. Hence, she was stunned when Lei Yun informed her of the things that were happening outside. The Divine Herb sect is fighting with Tianshan Manor? Feng Ruqing had tasked the great elder Lei Yun to frame the Divine Herbs sect as she wanted to make the Divine Herbs sect a scapegoat. She had never thought that the people in Tianshan Manor to be so short-tempered to stir up a battle with the Divine Herbs sect. Read comics on our web novel. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Did the great elder Lei Yun beat up Tianshan Manor's master's daughter and stir up the commotion? Manor lady, I don't know what's going on. Recently, The disciples of the Divine Herbs sect have been acting like they have been possessed by the devil. Whenever they see someone from Tianshan Manor, they would rush over and fight them. Hence, they had infuriated the manor master, Gu Shi. Gu Shi? Feng Ruqing frowned. She felt that the name was extremely familiar, but she could not recall where she had heard the name from. Then, the Divine Herbs sect's reaction? Raising her brow, Feng Ru asked. It's all the Divine Herbs sect's fault after all. Hence, they have given a great number of spirit herbs to Tianshan Manor to appease their anger. The great elder Lei Yun could not help laughing. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? No doubt, it was a big loss to the Divine Herbs sect. However, simply no one knew why the disciples of the Divine Herbs sect would lose their minds whenever they saw the people from Tianshan Manor. Oh yeah, the people of the Divine Herbs sect had killed many disciples from Tianshan Manor. However, none of them has set foot into Lu Yun Kingdom. The people of Tianshan Manor could be found everywhere in Songyu mainland. Lu Yun Kingdom was no exception. Even if their identities were unknown, there must be some of them hiding within Lu Yun Kingdom. However, no one from the Divine Herbs sect had actually stepped into Lu Yun Kingdom. Hearing this, Feng Ruqing frowned even harder. She could feel that things might not be as simple as it seemed. Lei Yun, I will give some spirit herbs to Fengyun Manor a few days later. I want every one of you to enhance your strength. Feng Ruqing paused for a while. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Don't get Fifth Elder involved. I don't trust him. The Fifth Elder was not very observant, and Feng Ruqing had learned the hard way through Tang Yu and Mo Feifei. On the contrary, all the lady servants that Lei Yun had sent her were extremely good. Although all of them had freckles on their faces, they were charming and obedient. Chapter 751. Hence, Lei Yin was the only one Feng Ruqing could trust in Fengyun Manor. Sponsored content. It seems that the manor lady has completely lost her trust in Fifth Elder. The corners of Lei Yun's lips lifted. Manor lady, don't worry. I won't reach a bottleneck so soon. Hence, I don't need to go into closed-door cultivation. I will restructure the entire Fengyun clan. Both Tang Yu and Mo Feifei will never appear in the clan again. As Lei Yun had gone into closed-door cultivation for the past few years, he did not get himself involved in anything related to Fengyun clan. Now that he wanted to restructure the entire clan, naturally, he must get his hands dirty. Otherwise, there might be more people like Mo Feifei in Fengyun clan. Lei Yun, you just have to bear this in mind. It is fine if the disciples of Fengyun clan have no talent, but not without humanity. They can compete with one another, but they can never humiliate each other. If someone refuses to follow the rule, make him or her spit out all the spirit herbs that he has taken and throw him out of Fengyun clan. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? They must never think that they could do whatever they wanted and still remain in Fengyun clan after taking so many spirit herbs. At your command, Manor Lady, Li Yun answered respectfully. Feng Ruqing yawned lazily. Her lazy gaze swept past Lei Yu. I will leave Fengyun Manor a few days later. When I come back, I hope that everyone's strength in Fengyun Manor will have greatly enhanced. Originally, Feng Ruqing should have left as soon as she knew the route to Tianshan Manor. However, she had stayed here for quite some time as she was waiting to harvest the grade 5 spirit herbs. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Although her spiritual chi could speed up the ripening of spirit herbs, she was only capable of ripening one piece of spirit herb a day. As Fengyun clan needed a great number of spirit herbs, she could never get all of them within a short time period using her spiritual chi. Hence, she could only wait for the spirit herb to grow at its own pace. 5 more days. Feng Ruqing lowered her eyes. She could finally leave Fengyun Manor for an extremely mysterious place after 5 days. Feng Ruqing raised her head to look at the vast blue sky. Chainer, half a year has passed. How have you been? I can finally meet you again. If you are having a hard time, I will bring you home. No one is allowed to hurt you for the rest of your life. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Feng Ruching clenched her fists subconsciously as she dropped her eyes. Walking briskly in the courtyard wearing a red robe, her long black hair fluttered in the wind. Suddenly, Feng Ruching disappeared without a trace. As the night wore on, the curtains moved gently in an evening breeze that was sweeping through the open windows. Smoke curled up in the air from the incense burner. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? A young master stood by the bed, staring quietly at the lady lying on the bed. The corner of his lips curved into a smile. Slowly, he lowered his head and pressed a gentle kiss that was full of tenderness, longing, and love on the lattice lips. Chinger, just do whatever you want to do. I will always stay by your side and bring all the unsettled matters to an end. His fingers slid through the lattice hair. His eyes were full of tenderness. At this time, the lady was sleeping like a log and did not respond. The young master's slender fingers slid across her cheek. He retracted his hand. He was still staring at the lady on the bed. After a while, he turned to leave, reluctantly. At this moment, Lei Yun was waiting fearfully outside the chamber. When he saw that the young master had left the chamber, he heaved a sigh of relief. Chapter 753. Everyone knew that the Mu family's Nanxian was very filial and obedient to Mu Ling. Other than that, he was also handsome and extremely talented. Sponsored content, yes. Mu Ling praised him. Nevertheless, he knew that it was not for him, but to declare to the world. As long as it was the woman that Mu Ling had picked for him, he would obey and accept. In this way, should he go back and hang Mu Ling at the gate of the city and beat him 100 times to show his impiety? Young Master Nanxian, Lei Yun saw Nanxian's hardened face. He became more and more hesitant. Nanxian gradually regained his composure. My mother likes Chinger very much. What did young Master Nanxian mean? Whether my mother likes her or not, she is the only person I recognize as my partner. It meant that no one can intervene in his decision. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? His previous words actually told Lei Yun that everyone in his family would accept Chinger. Mu Ling was the only one who could not accept her. Of course, Nanxian would not have spoken so much with Lei Yun if it was in the past. It would be sufficient to just say the final decision. But today, Lei Yun represented Nailin Yin. He would let Nailin Yin know that Chinger would marry him without any grievances. Nanxian stopped talking. He closed the door for Feng Ruching and walked past Lei Yun. The man's white robe under the moonlight made the atmosphere seem even colder. His fairy-like figure went further and further, disappearing quietly in the night, as if he had not come before. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? The next day, in the morning sun, the girl opened her eyes slowly. She stretched her body and slowly rose from the bed. She did not sleep very much in the past few days. Even with the help of the divine spirit fruit, she was not as comfortable as last night. Maybe I missed the state preceptor too much. I dreamed of him last night. She felt that someone was there last night, but there was no sound in Fengyun Manor. Maybe she thought about it too much. Perhaps she really missed the state preceptor so much that she dreamt of him. I will be able to go back to the state preceptor after I have found Chainer. Feng Ruching squinted. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Not only Qin Shan was in that Tian Shun manor, but also the Mu family. If she had the chance, she really wanted to see who was the woman who drove Suyi away, who had hurt Suyi and Nanxian so much. Princess. Luli came in through the door with a basin of water. She laid the basin on the table and walked in front of Feng Ruching. Princess, Paramount's young master Jiuming is here. Feng Ruching was stunned. Jiuming? Why is he here? If nothing has happened, he can't come to me. Luli, ask him to wait for a moment. I'll go to him after I have cleaned up. Yes, princess. Luli left after she bowed. Download our sponsors game and get $30 reward. Remove ads? Fengyun Manor. In the manor's courtyard, Jiuming stood in the center of the stone pavilion with one hand behind his back. He smiled a little, but his eyes were fixed on the girl who was not far away. Girl, you left without a word. It's hard for me to find you. They had both experienced a battle in the forest of spirit beasts together. Now that she was going to leave, she remained silent and had disappeared without even saying goodbye. If he had not come to her, he would not know if she would go to him at all. Jiming, you wanted to meet me? Did something happen in Luyun Kingdom? Or is there a problem with the herbal dishes in Paramount? Feng Ruching walked to the center of the stone pavilion and stopped. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.